A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the divine dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody around the world watching us here live on Turn 200. It is time for the Mission Art Challenge, Sunday Top Split Strength of Field, Season 3, Week number 8. Here at Motorsports Arena, Oschersleben. This is a 2.3-mile road course. It feels a lot smaller than that. It feels like you're just suffocating with how little room there is to maneuver here. And this is a car that drives like a boat. It wants as much room as possible, so it's going to make things very interesting here today. It's Tommy Cook hanging out with you, Matt Williamson alongside, as always. Partner, this will be your first Sunday, or your last Sunday for maybe the rest of the season. Maybe. We'll see. But you picked a very interesting one to go out on here, as this is, we got our first look at Oschersleben a couple of months ago with ASRL. It's going to be exactly like that, chaotic and scrambly, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of a theme here for the PMR season that a lot of the racetracks we're going to are very technical and very narrow, and that's not changing here in week number 8. And you mentioned it, this car does not like narrow racetracks, especially when you're trying to make passes. We have seen many times this season drivers get extremely frustrated about not being able to make passes even though they are faster than some of the cars in front of them, and I don't think that's going to be any different here tonight. So the start of the race is going to be uber important.
Yes, hello to our good friend Boxless the Hobo in the chat. Yeah, so JJ Wang, for whatever reason, is just sitting on the end of pit road. So he's not going to start at the front of this field. Passing is going to be impossible, but the nice thing for JJ is he's got a nice, healthy points lead. Don't have a points graphic here today. Sort of ran out of time. And we're out of time in the pre-show anyway because qualifying has concluded with everybody taking a qualifying lap. So let's give you the full starting lineup here. Shinya Inuzuka, the big winner last week at Watkins Glen, is going to start at the front of this field. It will be Timothy Reed starting to his outside. Georgie Trepsick, great qualifying effort for him. He'll line up third next to James Watson, who's looking for a better start here this week in fourth. Ella Spice, Laura Hill on row number 3. It's Sean Begley and Rebecca David on row 4. Jamie Hamel Smith is back for the first time all season. Jamie will roll off in ninth with David Frost rounding out your top 10. Then it will be JJ Wang, Samuel Henry on row number 6, and Juan Enriquez will be your 13th and final starter here this afternoon. Matt, if we got time, let's get some track conditions.
Yep, taking a look, it was really foggy there in practice, and track temperature very cool, 68 degrees, which these tires tend to get hot, and the car doesn't like it, so hopefully that will help the drivers a little bit here, try and keep those tires as cool as possible. 20-minute timed race, as always, here for the Porsche Mission R Challenge, and we are awaiting one more driver to grid, and we will be underway.
2.3 miles, 20 minutes of racing here today. This is the very famous first corner that a Scottish gentleman said somebody should be taken into a dark room and beaten upside the head for whoever designed it. And you will see that on full display here momentarily. Hello to Lucas Ward as well, hanging out with us on a Sunday afternoon. And hello to anybody that is hanging out with us as well. JJ Wang, the points leader, the 3-time series champ, way back in the field, but with 20 minutes to try and overcome as Timothy Reed is looking for a bounce back after a spin last week, and Shinya Inuzuka wants to make it 2 wins in a row. The green flag is out. Here we go. The dash down into 1. Inuzuka trying to get clear on Reed and will outbrake. Who will outlast here? Wow. As we really dive it right down into the rumble strips there on the right.
Trepsick. Oh, no. Reed!
That's James Watson. Watson shoots up off the rumble strips there and into Timothy Reed. They go plummeting back into the field.
This has all allowed JJ Wang to make up a bunch of positions here in the first couple of corners. JJ all the way up into the top 5 already.
11th to 5th. But Inuzuka leading, Trepsick, Spice, Hill, and Wang the top 5.
Rebecca David pretty wide there through that right-hander. Begley has gotten to the inside and overtakes.
David with some blinking as well, but Begley up a spot. Spice, Hill, and Wang all pretty tight here into the final couple turns of the circuit. But Inuzuka with a 1.2 second lead as we get ready to round the final turn, turn number 14. Well, after the opening lap incident, they didn't really hit anything particularly hard, Reed and Watson, but they hit each other pretty hard, and they have fallen all the way back, but they're still running.
And Watson, presumably with quite a bit of damage, has fallen off the pace of everybody else. Reed looking to get through Juan Enriquez. They're side by side. This is the same corner that Reed and Watson got together. Reed not able to take it quite yet. A huge dive there.
JJ Wang has crashed into the barriers. He got off into the grass, and it sent him right around. So the good start for JJ Wang is all for naught. He does have some damage. He did hit the tire barrier. Not detrimental, but what is detrimental is he is plumb last in the field. things have settled down up front. We've got some stuff to look at here.
We certainly do. There's Reed getting past David Frost. Watson has gotten through on Enriquez. Let's look back at the incident between Watson and Reed here. Oh, and Watson just carries a little bit too much speed and goes wide there through that right-hander and tags the right rear of Reed. Everybody else squeezing through there on the bottom, and then here's the incident for JJ. Right on the back bumper of Hill. Both of them get off into the grass, Wang with all 4 tires, and then when he tries to come back onto the racing surface, spins him completely to the right into the wall. Him and Hill were fighting hard for that position. Both of them were pushing it so hard they both got out into the grass there.
So Georgi Trepsik in second right now. He's fallen off of Shinya Nuzuka by quite a bit, but he's holding Ellis Spice at bay. Spice hanging around half a second to 0.6 off of the rear wing of the 9 car. So Georgie doing a good job. Not a whole lot of challenging for position right now. We do have a bit of a train at the back of the field here. But up front, Inuzuka's got it on lock with the purple lap of the session.
Yeah, Wang just got past Enriquez and now has David Frost in front. Should be able to pick Frost off here, but with the damage, I doubt we'll be able to get to Watson. So Wang probably looking at 11th at best without other competitors falling out.
We'll see if he can go JJ mode and pick up a couple more. A hefty points lead coming into today. Well over 200 points, so he's got some to spare. We're into the drop weeks now, with this being week number 8. So, he can't afford to do this every week, of course, but, one isn't going to kill him.
Ellis Spice has been trying to reel in Trepsik here. Kind of gets close and then loses a little bit of time. May have a little bit of issue here with tire temperature. We see that kind of fluctuating lap time pretty frequently here in the PMR, but here's the onboard shot with Spice. Looking to track down Trepsik.
I would imagine riding this close behind another car has got to be hell on those front tires with how tight these turns are. It's kind of like what we talk about in super speedway racing. Pop that bubble. Actually, you could be faster, but to get up and actually make a pass is going to be super difficult with this car here without a mistake, which is pretty likely considering the people that we've seen crash in this race thus far. I would say mistakes are very common at this track.
Yeah, it's just so tight, so technical. It is just a difficult circuit here.
He had the steering wheel upside down through a couple of these turns.
He certainly has.
This boy don't want to turn. Ain't no way.
So these two continue to be a few car lengths apart. Behind them, Begley closing in on Laura Hill just a bit here. That was a wild first lap and a half there. And now drivers trying to get settled in.
After our ASRL Sports Car Championship race here, I kind of expected it. I'm just surprised we haven't seen anybody clip the sausage curbs and go flying into the into the German ether yet. This is our closest duo on the track, and it is for second. A couple of other drivers started to make some work. Jamie Himmel-Smith tracking down Rebecca Davin here for sixth. They've gotten awfully close.
JJ has caught Watson. A big mistake there from James Watson. Looked like he got really loose into that corner. Either that or he was just pulling off to let JJ by. But so JJ has gotten up to 10th now. And in front of him, about 6 seconds in front of JJ, Timothy Reed looking to pick off another here. Past Samuel Henry. And suddenly, Hamel Smith and Davin right in front of these two as well.
So that's becoming a bit of a train. 6 back to 9th.
Here goes Reed looking to take a dive into the left-hander. Boy, that is tight.
And that kind of got the car unsettled as well. He might be able to go out to in, but a well-positioned exit on the corner for Henry will keep the spot for now. Henry doesn't want to lose this spot because he's got 2 more. Prime for the taking in front of him as Davin and Smith, like you said, have backed up. Oh, Reed a little wide. Maybe just trying to arc this corner, and he does. Pretty nice. Any wider, though, he probably would have been in the grass. Fine margins here, that's for sure.
Spice has a good run on Trepsic here. Into the sweeping right-hander, into the S's.
Yeah, Trepsic had a slow down to clear.
With these two battling, Laura Hill starting to reel both of them in. Begley was right behind Hill for a couple of laps and now has fallen off the pace a bit.
There are a couple of long straights on this course that lend themselves to the PMR, which likes the toe. It sure does.
Spice really starting to search around, but has to be careful about how many stabs he's going to take at Trepsic here because Hill is right to the back bumper now.
Oh, Trepsic got in the grass there just a bit.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and
Big
Hill.
moment there for Hill. Able to corral it, but that almost went sailing off into the grass. Really had to get off the throttle.
70% of the time, you don't save that. So that was well done. This car has traction control on it, and it will take over in instances like that. And usually that just results in you spinning out. It's a big difference between this and a stock cars. This one's a bit more helpless if it gets out of shape. Ellis has a run here, but we'll have to try and get it around the outside. Trepsic flies it in there. Tries to make it stick on the inside and will. That was aggressive from the driver in front.
Meanwhile, that battle we were watching for 7th, 8th, and 9th, Timothy Reed has gotten past Samuel Henry.
This is 6th, 7th, and 8th. All nose to tail. Hamel Smith backing up just a bit. Gets Reed out of shape. Now a little bit of space between the three. 7 minutes to go. Good battles here.
There's a look at the track map for everybody to take a look at. Leader just crossing start-finish.
Yeah, Shinny is way out there. 8.5 seconds.
And now look at this. Hill trying to toe off of Spice to the inside. Now going to look to the outside. Side
it's too
by
far.
side into one.
Wow, just
Whoa.
barely missed getting up over the curbs and then runs it a bit wide, makes contact with Spice. But Laura Hill up onto the podium. At some point, you could be resigned to the position you're in or go for it. And that is exactly what Laura Hill just did.
That was aggressive by Hill, but that's what you have to do to make a pass around this course. And was able to use the draft off of Spice and then use the draft off the Trepsic after pulling out.
Samuel Henry got off track. JJ Wang got through. Juan Enriquez has gone for a spin and is trying to get it pointed back in the right direction. And will. But he drops to the tail end of the field.
JJ Wang has gotten by Samuel Henry, so JJ up to 9th now. As Jamie Himmel-Smith, Timothy Reed, and Rebecca David right in front here. This has suddenly become a pretty long line of cars.
It certainly has. Sean Begley's catching this battle for second here as well. He'll be here in no time. In fact, he's inside of a second now, so he can draft up to Ella Spice. Oh, Laura Hill just missed the middle of the turn there, nearly made it Trepsic's problem. So Hill backing up the Spice once again. But Hill now right back on the back bumper here.
It's such an awkward position to be in now for Hill, who was able to take advantage of the same position Spice found himself in. Now Spice is the aggressor here. So Hill has to worry about Spice behind while also trying to navigate and maybe make a pass here on Trepsic.
Well, may not have to worry about Spice because there's a chance he just lagged out. Certainly has not come back yet. Oh, and showed up for just a second, but now is gone again.
Here comes Hill looking to the inside, not quite there. Oh, but wow, nearly
Again.
shoots it right into the rear of Trepsic, but able to stay away from that rear wing, but it was awfully close. And I think Spice is officially gone.
Yeah, he's dropped to the bottom of the running order. Sure, we'll get the notification that he's lagged out any moment now.
Boy, Spice has not had very good luck here this season.
No, not really. An 11-second lead here with 3 minutes to go for Shinny Inuzuka. They're battling hard for second behind him.
Oh, David now blinking a little bit as well. Reed trying to make a pass here, but it makes it so difficult when you have a car in front of you appearing and disappearing over and over. And now has to worry about JJ Wang behind.
Who would have thunk?
With the front end damage, I thought Wang was as good as done here, but has made a nice comeback.
Up to 7th after getting past Jamie Himmel-Smith on this lap. Reed really searching for a way around here.
Hill again down into 1. Pushes wide once again through 2.
don't look now, but he has appeared behind Sean Begley. Oh, Hill off.
Oh, yep.
Oh, Reed's found some room underneath. A little contact. And there goes
Now
J.J.
JJ's
Wang
gonna
through.
find a way through.
He gets one. Can he get a second? These are all left-handers coming up. Oh, boy. That was tight. It's still going to be tight. Now the right-hander.
JJ wide here. But great grip through the outside of that corner.
David makes it stick. Oh, and Reed's going to go for a spin. That was a bobble. And bobbling at this stage is going to heat those right rear tires up. That doesn't take much to send him around.
Here goes JJ to the inside through the S, and not quite able to clear yet. Will on the exit.
Should be the white flag lap here as Shinya Inuzuka is across the stripe.
Laura Hill looking to get to the outside of Trepsic here into turn one.
Oh, Hill too deep. Does good not to make any contact with Trepsic. Now we'll have to fend off Begley. Slowdown is cleared. Hill is good to push on. Through the final two turns, Shinya Inuzuka will take the checkered flag, and he wins his second race in a row here on the Sunday Top Split Strength of Field race for the Michelin Challenge. The final right-hander for this battle for the podium. Begley nearly got into the back of Laura Hill. Has to roll out of it big time. Trepsic will hang on for second, and Hill will survive for a podium. Talk about congestion. This race was brought to you by Clarendon D. And Timothy Reed lets James Watson go past at the finish line, so Reed will fall down to 10th. But it is Inuzuka with a second win. So we wait for the rest of the drivers to come across the line here before we can give you the full finishing rundown. I believe Ellis Spice reconnected with a couple laps to go. But with Enriquez crossing the stripe, it is now official, and Shinya Inuzuka will get his second win in a row here on the Sunday Top Split. Georgie Trepsic will finish runner-up, and Laura Hill will round out your podium. Sean Begley, J.J. Wang, what a drive back through the field for the three-time champ. J.J. will finish in 5th. Rebecca David in 6th. Jamie Hamel Smith in 7th. Samuel Henry in 8th. James Watson and Timothy Reed will round out your top 10. David Frost, Juan Enriquez, and Ellis Spice with the disconnect and reconnect will finish all the way down in 13th. So we head over to the Discord, and we will swap in Laura Hill. Laura Hill in booth 200 here as a podium finisher on the Sunday Top Split. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was an interesting race all around. But you seem to be one of just a handful of people, really, that could make passes on this track. A very aggressive move, but a good one on Ellis Spice there into the first turn. I mean, a difficult race out there, I'm sure. It looked it.
Yeah, it was It was something. I think it was lap 5. A line clicked in the second half of the lap, and I just got some pace from that. And because I was falling back and losing tenths, and then something clicked, and I was able to get that time back.
I wish I had races where something clicked for me. That would be nice. Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great finish here. Obviously, the great move there to get to third was awesome. But then you find yourself in a position that Spice had been in, where you're trying to maybe make a move for second, but you have pressure from behind to not lose the spot. I mean, it's got to be difficult to manage a race with trying to make that pass for second, but lots of pressure from behind as well.
Yeah, the main focus of that was look ahead. They may be behind, but it was push ahead. I knew I had for a bit, but it wasn't going to last. It came down, but it was just enough for me to hold on to.
Well, do you have anybody you want to thank or shout out here?
You guys for commenting to commenting these races. You've been brilliant job. And everyone racing as well, because it is, can't race without other people.
Absolutely. Well, go celebrate the P3, and we'll hopefully talk to you again here soon.
Yes, hopefully soon again.
And we will go ahead and pull in your second place finisher here, Georgie Trepsick. Nicely done here today. Welcome back to Booth 200. Welcome to the podium.
Thank you.
This was once Shinny got away. Your race was for second, but it was a brilliant race at that, because you never had to stop playing defense.
No, I had Ellis help me, but then his internet died, and I saw Laura come in, and it was one of those moments. I think I just needed to play the right defensive moves. Don't give any inch. And it worked in a way. It was a really good race. Definitely.
This is such an interesting track for this car. Was this a track coming in that you kind of had some confidence in, given how kind of narrow and tight some of these turns are?
Not really. It's not a racetrack I've raced often. I did some practice, and I was close to Stingy. And then that qualifying lap, although I've got some pace here, and it kind of suits my style. It didn't I didn't destroy my tyres as much, and I knew that if I can be up there and defend as well, then I can get a podium at least. And that's obviously what's happened.
The tire save is so important, especially at a place like this. Matt, what do you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great finish here. You have a lot of pressure from behind, and this is a very technical, very difficult racetrack just to keep pace, by yourself, let alone with pressure from behind from many different drivers. It was kind of a revolving door behind you there for a little bit. Folks trying to get to second. How do you focus on just running your laps there with so many different drivers in the rear view?
You got to hit your marks. Keep on hitting your marks each corner, and then don't overdrive the car. And then you think about tactics you can do when you defend. You're playing defensive, so braking early, getting throttle early, right positions of the track where you're braking on the inside line, but not too close to the inside, so you screw the exit and stuff like that, and just hitting those marks and just being aggressive when I need to be, and then being not as aggressive, then I can just ease off the pressure, so I can be aggressive again. Because you're still saving tyres whilst you're defending.
That's a lot of juggling. Nicely done here today. Anybody want to shout out or say hi to?
Oh, I feel sorry for Ellis. I really do. He was in there with me, helping me, being defensive, and he probably would have gone for it if his internet didn't die. Shout out to the mission community. people come out constantly every week. It's been great. It's been great for years now, and people keep coming out because this can be great. This racing is brilliant, definitely.
It indeed was a lot of fun here today, and you were a big part of that. So enjoy the rest of your evening. Go celebrate. We'll hopefully talk to you again soon.
Will do. Thank you. Thanks.
And now, for the second week in a row, we get to talk to Shinny Inuzuka as your race winner here today with the pole and the win in dominant fashion. Congrats on another one.
Thank you so much.
Well, I mean, your race was a lot more boring compared to everybody else's, that's for sure. But there is nothing boring about trying to wheel a car around this track fast. I mean, no pressure from behind, really. But, I mean, you were still hoofing it out there. You were flat flying.
Yeah, thank you. I was hoping for a good qualifying because it's kind of hard to overtake on this track. And then I saw JJ not having a single qualifying lap. So I was pretty lucky, but I hoped for a battle with him, actually.
So you've got no pressure. What becomes the focus? Is it just trying not to fly off track, or is it trying to be fast?
Yeah, usually I'm scared to do a mistake and ruin my own race. The pressure comes from itself at this point, but on this track I had a lot of fun actually driving in front. I was only looking at the relatives, to be honest, and trying to extend the gap even further, just to see if I can do it. And it looked pretty exciting, the battle for the podium. I saw 3 or 4 cars being pretty close to each other the whole time, and I feel pretty bad for Alice. I saw the disconnect, and yeah, and I also feel bad for JJ, of course.
Matt, what do you got for the race winner?
Yeah, congrats on a dominating performance here. That's 2 in a row for you. So just incredible stuff from you the last couple of weeks. I mean, where do you go from here? You're going to be here for the next few races of the season. Looking forward to seeing what you got.
Thank you. Yeah, I will try that. Because private life calls sometimes. I visit my girlfriend every 2 weeks, and that makes it a little bit more complicated, but I will still try to get every race on the calendar.
Alrighty, well, the time is yours here once again on the top step. Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to say hi to?
Yeah, of course. You too, of course, as usual, for broadcasting and doing the things you do, and of course the whole community of this Porsche races, and of course my girlfriend again, right behind me, just like the last race.
Alrighty, well, go celebrate, and we'll hopefully talk to you again here soon. But nicely done today.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Good win once again from Shinny Inuzuka. That's 2 in a row for him. Yeah, if somebody wins here on a Sunday, they seem to be coming in bundles of late. So congrats to Shinny. Nicely done for JJ. We didn't get to talk to him, but +6 on the chart. But really, he went +6 and then +6 again, having to come all the way back through the field after a spin on the first lap. So JJ did a nice job here today as well. Matt, anything you want to say before we close up shop?
Good stuff here. Coming into this race, we weren't sure what exactly to. I mean, we were sure what to expect, but this one played out incredibly entertainingly, I guess you could say. So, shout out to the drivers for coming out, putting on a show for us as always here. And I think I owe an apology to JJ Wang after he got some damage. I thought his goose was cooked, and lo and behold, it was alive and well. So. I owe an apology for doubting JJ at any point. I should know better than to do that. But thanks to everybody that was watching here as well. Is Boxless Hobo Zach Flom? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I always forget. I don't know why. So shout out to Zach and shout out to Lucas. Lucas has been tuning in quite a bit. So thanks to you guys for tuning in, chatting with us here today. And anybody else that's watching or will watch the replay here, appreciate it. And yes, Tommy said it correctly. Definitely going to be gone next week. After that, it's kind of up in the air. A big move is happening, and I don't know where all of my stuff is going to be at any given moment. So, but I will be making it as much as possible. Good luck to the drivers while I'm away, and looking forward to being back at some point.
Absolutely, and sad you're going to miss out on next week because next Sunday afternoon is Interlagos. That's the first time that we've seen that on the Mission Art calendar, so that'll be very exciting. Interlagos, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. We got racing between now and then. Of course, tomorrow night is the return of the Go Squadra Formula Super Series for season number 2, the opening race from Spa-Francorchamps. That will be on the air sometime around 8:45 p.m. Eastern, give or take about 10 minutes on that. Then Tuesday night, the Venom Truck Series will roll into Auto Club for the endurance race. That'll be at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. On Wednesday, it will be the Daredevil Series from 2008 Phoenix, the Oval. So that will be at its usual time of 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And then Thursday night, the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series will be on from Richmond. That will be at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. So plenty of racing action here in the week to come on Turn 200. We'll hope to see you there. But that's all we got for you here today. On behalf of everybody with the Mission Art community and the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson, until we meet again, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long from Motorsports Arena Oschersleben, where Shinya Inuzuka is today's race winner. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.